it does, right? It is a directory, it's a database wherein it keeps the record of everything, as well as it does some additional responsibilities. What are those?
Authentication and authorization.
Authentication and authorization. Yeah. So what is authentication and what is authorization?
Authentication is nothing but verifying the identity of an object.
Hmm.
Is authorization is like giving, like you are allowed to access the particular application or not.
Yeah, verifying if this person is authorized to access this resource or not. Authorized in the sense whether this person is
Allowed.
permitted, yeah, permitted to access this resource or
Give
not. Yeah.
official permission to that person.
More about permissions,
Yeah.
verifying the permissions of that person. Yeah, that is authorization. All right, so this was the basic introduction of Active Directory. Today we are going to discuss about some components of Active Directory. When I say components, we have two different type of components, that is physical components and another is logical components. Okay, so we are going to discuss about different components which are available, which are listed, which are part of Active Directory. Okay, so referring to the document, you guys can refer to the material which I have shared. So it's listed over there. So some of the physical components are organization units and sites. Okay, and we also have a hierarchy of Active Directory, that is a forest, tree, and domain. Okay, so have you guys heard about these terminologies earlier? Forest, tree, and domain, or is it a new terminology altogether?
No, we
This
haven't. I haven't heard.
You haven't heard. Okay. So whenever you create a new Active Directory, a fresh Active Directory in an environment, let's say you have established a new company. Okay, you have established a new company, and in this company, like let's say you have hired a bunch of people, let's say 50 to 100 people. So in order to manage this many people, you have to have an Active Directory role installed so that you can manage their user accounts, their information and everything you can manage in a system which is called Active Directory. So in order to create an Active Directory, let's say your company name is, let's say, Resi.tech. Okay. So this is the company name. So I'm creating a new domain with this company, that is Resi.tech. Okay, so everyone who is joining this company will be like someone at the rate Resi.tech. That would be his alias in this company. So in order to create a directory, first of all, I have to install the Active Directory role on a server operating system. And then when I create a domain, it will ask me whether this is the first domain in this environment. If I say yes, this is the first domain which I am creating, then that particular domain will be considered as a forest. Okay. The first domain which gets created in an environment will be termed as a forest. The parent domain, we call it as. Parent domain is nothing but a forest. A forest can contain multiple domains inside it. Okay, so forest with the primary domain. Let's say resi.tech is the primary domain. Inside resi.tech, I can create subdomains, child domains, I would say. Okay, so these domains will have different naming convention. Like let's say Hyderabad.resi.tech, Chennai.resi.tech, Delhi.resi.tech. So I will have separate child domains created inside this domain, and I will name it as on my own preference. I would say, okay, location wise, I'm dividing these child domains. So who I mean, I have a branch. Let's say my company is expanding now. The company which I just opened up. So this company is now expanding to different locations. So now I have a branch in Delhi. I have another branch in Bangalore. New branch in Chennai. So in order to manage users working in Delhi, I want to separate them into a different child domain. so that it is managed then and there in the Delhi subdomain itself. So I will create a child domain inside this forest. I will name it as delhi.resi.tech. Okay, so it's a child domain created inside resi.tech. Just give me a second, getting a call. I'm sorry, it was a call from my office. Okay, so yeah, child domains. So we can create child domains inside the parent domain. So it has to be in a naming format like something dot parent domain. Okay. So resi.tech is the parent domain. Parent domain will be considered as the forest. You create a forest. Inside a forest, you will have child domains and trees. Okay. Trees is also a terminology. We will come to that. So in for forest is a vast environment you're creating. Forest, just think of forest. Okay, think about a forest. Forest is something like a vast environment. Inside forest, you will have different trees. So in trees, we have again child domains. Okay, location wise. So forest is nothing but a parent domain like resi.tech. Inside resi.tech, I can create child domains and I can segregate people depending upon their location or depending upon their department. I can segregate them. So let's say my company is expanding to different locations. So location wise, I will create separate child domains and I will segregate them to different locations. Okay, so delhi.resi.tech is a child domain created inside the forest, that is resi.tech. Similarly, bangalore.resi.tech, I will create a separate domain. So it's a child domain basically. Okay, clear with this concept? Parent domain and child domain. Any confusion? Okay,
Yes, Razibhai. So, Razibhai, you mean that only one time we create
forest.
forest domain.
Yes, yes,
So, in that
exactly.
inside the forest domain, we'll create trees like child domains.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
so we don't need to again create another domain like forest domain. Inside that domain only we can create multiple
Yes, exactly.
trees.
Forest cannot be created twice. Forest will be
Only
only
one.
one, only one. In an organization, there will be only one forest. Even if you go for Microsoft, Microsoft will have only one forest. Okay, and then inside Microsoft.com, there will be different child domains created.
So basically, child domains will be like users, right, Razibhai?
Child domains, no, not users. So Delhi.resi.tech is a child domain. In Delhi.resi.tech, there will be users who are located in Delhi for my organization.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a directory. देखो आप directory को I mean whenever we say about domain, whenever we talk about Active Directory, just think about a directory. आप एक फोन डायरेक्टरी बुक मेंटेन करते हैं ना, अपने पास घर में रहता है लैंडलाइन, अगर लैंडलाइन फोन है तो उसके पास आप लैंडलाइन फोन के पास एक बुक रखेंगे, ठीक है, दैट
जी,
इज अ डायरेक्टरी बुक वेर इन यू मेंटेन द फोन नंबर्स.
जी.
Okay, so it's just like you are taking the directory and dividing them to different आई मीन डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द लोकेशन। ठीक है, दिल्ली
ओके।
के कॉन्टैक्ट्स एक अलग बुक में है,
जी जी।
कॉन्टैक्ट्स एक अलग डायरेक्टरी बुक में है, चेन्नई के कॉन्टैक्ट्स एक अलग अलग सेपरेट डायरेक्टरी में है। ठीक है, सो वी आर
जी।
सेग्रीगेटिंग द डायरेक्टरी डिपेंडिंग अपॉन
ओके।
यूजर्स, ऑल ऑफ देम आर योर फ्रेंड्स, वो सारे कॉन्टैक्ट्स आपके एक नेटवर्क के हैं, राइट? दिल्ली
जी।
के कॉन्टैक्ट्स भी आपके ही नेटवर्क के हैं, आपके फ्रेंड्स हैं, आपकी जान पहचान के लोग हैं जिसके कॉन्टैक्ट्स से। ठीक है, चेन्नई के भी आपके ही पहचान के, दे बिलोंग टू योर नेटवर्क इटसेल्फ, राइट? बट यू आर
ओके।
सेग्रीगेटिंग देम इन ऑर्डर टू मैनेज देम इजीली। ठीक है, दैट
So
इज
we are
हाउ।
segregating as per the location.
एग्जैक्टली exactly. ये सारे मेरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को ही बिलोंग करते हैं, दे बिलोंग टू रेजी डॉट टेक, बट आई एम जस्ट सेग्रीगेटिंग देम डिपेंडिंग अपॉन देयर लोकेशन, सो आई एम डिवाइडिंग देयर डायरेक्टरीज। ओके, सो
Yeah.
डायरेक्टरी में सेपरेट सेपरेट कर रहा हूँ ये लोग के। सो दिल्ली की डायरेक्टरी में सेपरेट रहा हूँ, बैंगलोर की सेपरेट मेंटेन कर रहा हूँ। ठीक है, सो इट्स जस्ट लाइक एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी को आप पार्टीशंस में डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, यू आर सेग्रीगेटिंग पीपल टू डिफरेंट डिफरेंट डायरेक्टरीज इनसाइड अ सिंगल फॉरेस्ट।
Okay.
Okay,
So,
so this is about yeah, Usma.
so under forest we have trees. The trees are nothing but the segregation, and under that we have users, right?
Yes, exactly. So once a domain is created, domain can be anything. अब आप फॉरेस्ट को भी डोमेन बोल सकते, ट्री को भी डोमेन बोल सकते। डोमेन इज अ जनरल टर्म। ठीक है, resi dot tech is a domain, delhi.resi dot tech is also a domain, but it's a child domain, whereas resi dot tech is a parent domain। लेकिन दोनों एक डोमेन ही है, दोनों भी एक डायरेक्टरी है। ठीक है, ये बड़ी डायरेक्टरी है, वो छोटे छोटे डायरेक्टरीज है, दैट्स इट। ठीक है, तो when you talk about a domain, so when you create a domain you have to select whether you are creating a forest or you're creating a child domain inside a forest. Okay, there will be an option. So tomorrow we are going to do a practical session on active directory, how to create active directory, how to configure active directory. I will be sharing my screen and I will showcasing how to configure and install active directory, inshallah, tomorrow. Okay, so that will give you a clear picture about it. So whenever we are talking about a domain, so it can be a forest, it can be a child domain, it can be a parent domain, it can be a child domain, anything, but it's a domain. So inside domain, we create objects. Objects can be user accounts, computer accounts, network devices, anything. Anything which belongs to the company are part of the domain, and they are called as objects in a domain. Okay. So forestry domains are few of the physical components. I mean, we call it as a hierarchy. And then we have other objects, that is organization units and sites. So what is organization unit? OU. So inside a domain, we have these objects. Okay. देखो अभी एक hierarchy अपन discuss किया, forest, then tree. Forest is also a domain, it's a parent domain. Tree is also a domain, but it's a child domain. Inside a forest, we have trees. Okay, so inside a domain, again, we have different categories. ठीक है, एक डोमेन के अंदर अलग अलग कैटेगरीज है, एक है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यूनिट और एक है साइट। ठीक है, तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यूनिट, व्हाट इज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यूनिट? So let's say you have a company, resi.tech, resi.tech का एक ब्रांच है हैदराबाद लोकेशन में। ठीक है, so it's called hyderabad.resi.tech, that is the child domain we have in Hyderabad. Now in Hyderabad office, when you go to the office of resi.tech, just an example, so when you go to this office, so you will see different different departments working inside that office premises, right? तो आप कोई ऑफिस में जब जाएंगे, कोई कंपनी में, कोई आईटी कंपनी में जाएंगे, तो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स रहेंगे। एक है एचआर डिपार्टमेंट, राइट? एचआर जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेस, they hire people, they place them into projects. Then we have sales department. Okay, then we have IT department, IT support teams. ठीक है, तो ऐसे we will have different different departments working in a company. आप कोई भी आईटी कंपनी जाएंगे, कोई भी ब्रांच, हैदराबाद ब्रांच अगर जाएंगे, so you will see different different departments working inside it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, just an example, you guys have been working, right? So you know the environment and all. So, for IT team, let's say I don't want them to print anything in the company. Okay, there is a printer. ठीक है, कंपनी का एक शेड डिवाइस है, प्रिंटर है, ठीक है। अब कंपनी अगर आप जाएंगे, आई मीन इफ यू हैव एवर वर्कड इन आईटी कंपनीज, यू मस्ट बी नोइंग दैट इट्स नॉट अलाउड टू प्रिंट एनीथिंग। आई मीन आप कुछ भी ऐसे कुछ भी डॉक्यूमेंट, पर्सनल डॉक्यूमेंट्स आप प्रिंट नहीं कर सकते। एंड इवन कॉन्फिडेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन है कंपनी के रिलेटेड या प्रोजेक्ट के रिलेटेड कुछ कॉन्फिडेंशियल डॉक्यूमेंट्स है तो आप उसको प्रिंट नहीं कर सकते, राइट? बिकॉज कॉन्फिडेंशियल, अगर आप कुछ प्रिंट कर लिए फिर आप वो पेपर अनअटेंडेड ऐसे ही छोड़ दिए, सो इट्स लाइक यू आर लीकिंग द कॉन्फिडेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द प्रोजेक्ट। सो यू आर नॉट प्रिंट एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग, राइट? कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट डॉक्यूमेंट है तो अप्रूवल लेना पड़ता, आई आई नीड टू प्रिंट दिस डॉक्यूमेंट बोल के, ठीक है। सो आईटी टीम के जो यूजर्स हैं, सो लेट्स से मुजाहिद बिलोंग्स टू आईटी टीम, आईटी सपोर्ट, ठीक है। आईटी टीम का काम क्या रहता है भाई? कुछ भी हार्डवेयर फेलियर हो गया, कुछ कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर फेलियर हो गया, कोई 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 सॉफ्टवेयर काम नहीं कर रहा या कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो दे विल फिक्स इट। So Mujahid belongs to IT company, IT team, whereas Uzma belongs to the HR department. Okay, so Mujahid is a user account. ठीक है, मोहम्मद डॉट मुजाहिद एट रजी डॉट टेक, ये यूजर अकाउंट क्रिएटेड है कहाँ पे? रजी डॉट टेक डोमेन में, एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी में ये यूजर अकाउंट क्रिएटेड है। सेम डोमेन में उज़मा का भी अकाउंट क्रिएटेड है, उज़मा डॉट शीरीन एट रजी डॉट टेक, ये यूजर अकाउंट सेम डायरेक्टरी में, सेम रजी डॉट टेक में क्रिएटेड है, ठीक है। लेकिन उज़मा को कुछ परमिशंस है जो मुजाहिद को नहीं है, मुजाहिद को कुछ परमिशंस है जो उज़मा को नहीं है, ठीक है। सो नाउ हाउ आई एम सेग्रीगेटिंग दीज पीपल डिपेंडिंग अपॉन देयर डिपार्टमेंट्स। मुजाहिद बिलोंग्स टू आईटी टीम, उज़मा बिलोंग्स टू एचआर टीम। सो इन दिस वे आई कैन सेग्रीगेट देम इनसाइड अ डोमेन एज वेल, ठीक है। डोमेन के अंदर भी मैं इन लोग को सेग्रीगेट कर सकता हूँ। आई विल क्रिएट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यूनिट्स। For HR team, I will create a separate unit. For IT team, I will create a separate unit. So with the help of these units, it will be easier for me to allocate what type of permissions needs to be allocated. ठीक है, अभी मैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर हूँ, यहाँ हैदराबाद के ब्रांच का मैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर हूँ, रजी इज द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर। इट्स माय रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी to provide all necessary permissions and accesses to everyone working in this branch, हैदराबाद branch, ठीक है। तो अब इतने सारे एम्प्लॉयज है, इतने सारे लोग काम कर, तो मैं किसको क्या परमिशन देना है, किस चीज का एक्सेस देना है? अभी जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल मैं प्रिंटर का एग्जांपल दिया, मुजाहिद बिलोंग्स टू आईटी टीम, तो मुजाहिद को प्रिंटर का एक्सेस नहीं होना है, whereas उस्मा को प्रिंटर का एक्सेस देना है बिकॉज शी इज वर्किंग इन एचआर टीम में बहुत से रिक्वायरमेंट्स रहते हैं। आई मीन यू हैव टू प्रिंट द रेज्यूमे ऑफ द कैंडिडेट्स, राइट? यू हैव टू प्रिंट लॉट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स। So for HR team, it's required to have this printer access. Similarly, different resources रहेंगे जिसका access किसी को होना चाहिए, किसी को नहीं होना चाहिए. So being the administrator for this Hyderabad branch, it's my responsibility to give the required access to each and every one. तो इन लोग को मैं पहले क्या करूंगा? डिवाइड करूंगा, सेग्रीगेट करूंगा, ठीक है। मुजाहिद आईटी टीम, उज़्मा एचआर टीम, तो इससे मेरे को क्या होगा? थोड़ा इजी रहेगा। आई कैन टेक अ डिसीजन इजीली, ठीक है। एचआर टीम में जो जो लोग हैं उनको ये एक्सेस चाहिए, आईटी टीम में जितने लोग हैं उनको ये एक्सेस चाहिए, ये नहीं चाहिए। इट विल बी easier for me being an administrator, providing access will be easier for me if I segregate them based on their departments. Agree with me or any confusion?
Yes,
Agree.
yes.
Okay. So in this way I will segregate them inside a domain. अभी यहाँ पे डोमेन की बात हो रही है, अपन पहले कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? अपन फॉरेस्ट से आ रहे हैं। फॉरेस्ट के अंदर फिर अपन सेग्रीगेशन कैसा करें? लोकेशन वाइज चाइल्ड डोमेन्स बनाए। अब चाइल्ड डोमेन्स में फिर अलग सेग्रीगेशन कर रहे हैं, कैसा? डिपार्टमेंट वाइज, एचआर टीम, आईटी टीम, सेल्स टीम, अलग अलग टीम वाइज सेग्रीगेट कर रहे। दिस सेग्रीगेशन इज डन विद द हेल्प ऑफ OUs, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यूनिट्स। एक ओयू बनाते हैं, उसका नाम बोल देते हैं एचआर टीम बोल के। फिर एक ओयू बनाते हैं, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यूनिट, उसका नाम देते हैं आईटी टीम। फिर एक नया ओयू बनाते हैं, उसका सेल्स टीम। डिपेंडिंग अपॉन दी अदर टीम्स वी विल क्रिएट डिफरेंट डिफरेंट ओयूज। कंटेनर है, OU is nothing but a container. What does it contain? It contain people, objects which belongs to the active directory itself. ठीक है, वो एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी में आप बस ऐसे ही लोगों को भर दिए। ठीक है, एक एक बुक है, एक डायरेक्टरी है, उसमें बस आप एक के बाद एक कॉन्टैक्ट्स लिख ले गए। ठीक है, विदाउट सेग्रीगेटिंग देम। लेकिन बाद में आपको पता चला कि इन लोग को थोड़ा डिवाइड। ठीक है, सो देन यू विल क्रिएट OUs एंड देन सेग्रीगेट देम। ठीक है, आईटी वाले ये OU में, HR वाले ये OU में। सो यू विल सेग्रीगेट देम इनसाइड अ डोमेन। तो दीज आर नथिंग बट ऑब्जेक्ट्स। uzma.shireen@resi.tech is also a object in the same domain. Mujahid का जो यूजर अकाउंट है, that is also a object in the same domain, same active directory. बट इनको मैं सेग्रीगेट कर रहा हूँ, सेपरेट कर रहा हूँ with the help of OUs. So OU is a container which contains objects, which holds objects belonging to the same active directory. Okay, but just we are segregating them so we can define their permissions easily. ठीक है, IT टीम को क्या क्या परमिशंस चाहिए, सो आई विल allocate the permission on the OU level. अब एक फोल्डर, OU is nothing but a folder which gets created. ठीक है, अब आप लोग फोल्डर्स बनाते हैं ना, एक फोल्डर के अंदर अब शादी के फोटो। ठीक है, तो हल्दी के अलग फोटोज, वलीमे के अलग फोटोज, शादी के अलग फोटोज, सांचक के अलग फोटोज। ठीक है, एक फोल्डर वाइज अपन क्या करते हैं, डिवाइड करते हैं। तो वैसे ही OU इज नथिंग बट फोल्डर्स इनसाइड अ एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी। तो IT टीम बोल के एक अलग फोल्डर बनाते, HR टीम बोल के एक अलग फोल्डर बनाते, तो वो फोल्डर पे परमिशन दे देते। HR टीम का जो फोल्डर है उस पे जो जो परमिशंस देना है वो दे देते। तो HR टीम फोल्डर के अंदर जितने ऑब्जेक्ट्स है, इट कैन बी यूजर्स, कंप्यूटर्स, एनीथिंग, सबको वो परमिशंस मिल जाते। ठीक है, क्लियर विद दिस?
ठीक है जी।
So this is how we segregate people inside a domain with the help of OUs, organization units. और एक ऑब्जेक्ट है, फिजिकल ऑब्जेक्ट, दैट इज कॉल्ड साइट। So have you ever heard about group policies in Active Directory? ये टर्मिनोलॉजी कभी सुने आप लोग, ग्रुप पॉलिसी?
In AWS, we have a group
You
policy.
have heard about it, okay. So group policy is something with the help of policies, group policies, we allocate permissions and we also implement restrictions. ठीक है, group policy object GPO is a policy, is a set of policies which is available in directory. With the help of these policies itself, we define what type of permissions which OU needs to have, कौन से OU पे क्या परमिशंस देना है, क्या रेस्ट्रिक्शंस देना है। अभी प्रिंटर का एक्सेस नहीं होना। अभी आई मीन यू गाइस हैव बीन वर्किंग टू इनटू डिफरेंट कंपनीज, सो you must be knowing that you will not have the access to change your own desktop wallpaper or access some basic things like you cannot access control panel, you cannot uninstall any application by yourself, right? And you cannot access um, I think command prompt, PowerShell you cannot access. तो ये चीजें आप लोग कभी नोटिस किए?
यस यस भाई।
Yeah. So how these things happen that when you're working in a laptop which belongs to your company, it's not allowing you to change the wallpaper background or home screen wallpaper change नहीं कर सकते। तो ये मिनिमम ये माइनर छोटे छोटे चीजें हैं बहुत, मतलब वॉलपेपर चेंज नहीं कर सकना, कंट्रोल पैनल एक्सेस नहीं होना, रिसाइकल बिन यू कैन नॉट एक्सेस रिसाइकल बिन, यू कैन नॉट एक्सेस द कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट। ये these are very minor things. So how are these configured? How these permissions are configured? These permissions are configured with the help of group policies. ठीक है, तो group policies are applied on OUs, organization units पे policies define होते हैं एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी में। तो वो पॉलिसी में होता है, लिखा हुआ होता है कि these people should not be able to access this particular thing. रिसाइकल बिन, वॉलपेपर चेंज नहीं कर सकना, ठीक है, ये कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट एक्सेस नहीं होना. ऑल दीज माइनर माइनर पॉलिसीज आर अवेलेबल इन ग्रुप पॉलिसीज. It's a set of policies. We will take a look, definitely practically करेंगे हम लोग group policy configuration in our next coming up sessions. So you will see that like these type of policies are there. You just have to enable or disable it. That's it. तो आप पॉलिसी डिफाइन करते हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यूनिट लेवल पे. एचआर टीम पे मैं एक पॉलिसी अप्लाई करा, ग्रुप पॉलिसी. दिस पॉलिसी विल रेस्ट्रिक्ट देम टू चेंज द वॉलपेपर. दिस पॉलिसी विल रेस्ट्रिक्ट देम टू और एनीथिंग एज सच. ठीक है. So, group policies are defined on the OU level as well as on the sites. ठीक है. अभी अभी आ गए अपन दूसरा component, that is sites. So what is sites? Sites is nothing but, if let's say you belong to the same department, HR department, and HR is working in different locations. अभी एक branch है चाइना. ठीक है. Different country. It's I have expanded my business into China. Same department है, same project है, but a part of the team is working in China and some part is working from India. ठीक है. तो अभी country wise कुछ रहते हैं, right? Like in China, you're not allowed to set some customized wall. जैसा कि आप कंट्री का कुछ फ्लैग यूटिलाइज नहीं कर सकते. तो मतलब यू कैन नॉट पुट द कंपनी फ्लैग ऑन द वॉलपेपर. आई मीन द कंट्री फ्लैग, चाइना का फ्लैग आप वॉलपेपर पे नहीं रख सकते. काइंड ऑफ सच गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कुछ रेस्ट्रिक्शन, okay, China location में. Whereas in India it's allowed, in China it's not allowed. So it can be anything. Okay. So China के कुछ location wise restrictions रहते हैं. So when my company is working in China, I have to adhere to the uh, policies of China government as well. Right. अगर मेरा business चाइना में रन हो रहा, जो conditions है वो भी पता. Right.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So, in order to adhere to those restrictions and those policies of China government, I can have separate policies implemented, group policies implemented for China based users. ठीक है. तो ये site level policy create होती है, sites. So if it's a India site, I will have a different group policy created. For China site, I will have separate policies. So China की location के लिए कुछ अलग restrictions है, तो वहाँ के हिसाब से मैं अलग पॉलिसी कॉन्फ़िगर करूंगा, ग्रुप पॉलिसी, एंड आई विल रेस्ट्रिक्ट दोज थिंग्स विद द हेल्प ऑफ द ग्रुप पॉलिसी. सिमिलरली डिफरेंट डिफरेंट साइट्स के हिसाब से डिफरेंट डिफरेंट रेस्ट्रिक्शंस चाहिए, तो उस हिसाब से वी विल कॉन्फ़िगर ग्रुप पॉलिसीज ऑन साइट्स लेवल. ठीक है. तो ग्रुप पॉलिसी कॉन्फ़िगर होती ओयू लेवल पे और साइट लेवल पे. सो दीज आर नथिंग बट सब फोल्डर्स वी क्रिएट इनसाइड अ डोमेन. तो जब हम डोमेन बनाएंगे, डोमेन के अंदर अपन ओयूज बनाएंगे और साइट्स बनाएंगे. इट इज नथिंग बट डिफरेंट फोल्डर्स विच गेट्स क्रिएटेड, और वो फोल्डर्स पे आप पॉलिसीज कॉन्फ़िगर करते हैं. तो जो लोग वो फोल्डर के अंदर फॉल होते हैं, ठीक है, और वॉट एवर ऑब्जेक्ट्स आर फॉलिंग अंडर दैट फोल्डर, it can be users or computers, they will be imposed with those policies. Okay, clear है or any doubts?
Clear.
Clear.
Okay. So these are the physical components of Active Directory, that is OUs and sites, and then we have a structure that is forest, tree, and domain. So you can also go through the material which I have shared. These components are explained in the material as well. Okay. After this, we have the logical components of Active Directory. We call it as roles. These are logical roles of Active Directory. Shall we move ahead, or because we don't have much audiences today, so I'm just thinking, shall we go with the logical components as well?
We better go with all the audience.
Sorry,
We can continue with the all the other people.
we can continue with the next topic.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. The next coming up topic is logical components of Active Directory. So it's nothing but the roles of Active Directory, logical roles. So these roles are not physically, I mean, visible when you configure an Active Directory. Like you can create an OU, you can create a site. It's physically visible to you. You can create them, right? But these logical components are they reside inside the Active Directory itself. When you configure Active Directory, they are part of it. Logically, they are part of it. You cannot view them. There is a way to verify which server is holding which role. You can check, but you cannot physically locate these roles because these are logical roles. Okay, so we call it as FSM roles, flexible single master operation roles. Okay, so we have got like five FSMO roles. So this is a very important interview oriented question, guys. Okay, so this is another question. I mean, the first question it was, we discussed about this. What is Active Directory yesterday? Not yesterday, day before yesterday. So Active Directory. What is Active Directory? What do you understand by Active Directory? This is a very common question in any interview you would be appearing for. Similarly, this question, what do you understand by the logical structure of Active Directory, or let's say, what do you understand by FSMO role? What is FSMO? FSMO is flexible single master operation roles. Okay, flexible single master operation, FSMO. It's available in the material, training material which I have shared. So what do you understand by these roles? Explain about these roles. So these are the common interview questions. Okay, so please make a note of it, and you should be able to explain all these five roles whenever this question is asked. You should explain the five different FSMO roles, and I mean, differentiate them as well. So we have like five roles, and these five roles are differentiated into two different types. Okay, one is forest wide role, and another is domain wide role. Okay, so we have got five FSMO roles. So they are segregated into two different types, forest wide and domain wide. So forest wide we have two, domain wide we have three. Together five, two are forest wide, three are domain wide. So now you know what is a forest and what is a domain, right? Forest is a single forest. I mean, forest is a parent domain basically. So forest is just one inside a Active Directory. Whereas domain we can have multiple. Inside a forest we can have multiple domains. We can have multiple child domains, right? So these five roles are segregated into two different types. One is forest wide and another is domain wide. So let's discuss what are the forest wide roles we have. The first one is schema master. Any idea what is schema? Have you ever heard about schema?
No.
Okay. So schema master is the first forest wide role, which is there in FSMO roles. So schema master is nothing but it will hold the schema of each and every object in the Active Directory. It will hold the schema of each and every object inside the Active Directory. So what is schema? Let's understand schema. I'll take a example over here. Uh, I guess you all have a Facebook account created, right? Some or the other day, I mean, we all have created a Facebook account at our childhood itself, right? So
Yes.
when you go for creating a fresh Facebook account, if you remember, you will be presented with a lengthy form to fill up, right? First name, last name, phone number, email address, I mean, physical location address, pin code, all this lengthy information will be asked, right? You have to update all this information so that you can create an account. Agree with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I see Raghu is joining in. Hey Raghu. Okay. So, yeah, whenever you create an account in Facebook, let's say this is an example, Raghu. So, when you create an account in Facebook, it will present you a lengthy form to fill up, right? And all the information has been asked over there. It will ask detailed information about you, very much in detail, right? Your personal address, your email address, your phone number, your gender, your PIN code, everything has been asked over there, right? So schema master is something. Schema is something which holds the information about the user. Okay, so schema in Active Directory looks very similar to that form which we see in Facebook login account creation page. Okay, schema is nothing but it's a lengthy form which is holding all the information about that object in Active Directory. Okay, so whenever we create an object in Active Directory in a forest, so that object can be a user account, it can be a computer device, it can be anything. So whenever we create an object, let's say we are creating an object, let's say we are creating a user account. There is a new user joining in, Raghu. Okay, this he is a new employee to this company, Razi.tech. Raghu is joining in. So I'm creating an account for him. I'm onboarding him to my company. So whenever I'm creating an account for him, I will have to provide the detailed information about this new employee. What is his first name? What is his last name? What is his email address? What is his phone number? What is his physical address, PIN code? Every detailed information I have to maintain in my directory about this object. So that information, where exactly it is being stored in my Active Directory, it is being stored in schema, in the form of schema. Understanding, guys?
Yes, Razi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So every detailed information of this object will be stored in the directory of Active Directory. So in inside directory, where exactly it is getting stored, it is getting stored in schema. Okay, schema, whenever I say schema, just think about a lengthy form filled up with all the information: first name, last name, email address, phone number, everything. Detailed information is filled up in a lengthy form. That is nothing but schema. Okay, are you clear with schema or any doubts?
Clear.
Okay,
No doubts.
all right. Is it being too much content, guys, for the day? Are we discussing too much of topics? Because I can sense that confusion in Uzma's voice. Is it like we are discussing so much, or shall we continue tomorrow with these topics?
Yeah, it's better to continue tomorrow, Razi bhai. Today it's enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
tomorrow we can continue.
Okay. So physical components we have discussed. So just go through it once. It's also mentioned in the training material which I have shared, and also go through the recording once again. You should remember the physical components of Active Directory. Tomorrow we'll discuss the logical components of Active Directory. This is a very important topic, so I don't want to rush up on this. FSMO rules is a very important topic. It's an interview oriented question. So we have to be very clear on this FSMO rules. Okay. So let's discuss this FSMO rules tomorrow. And tomorrow, once we discuss about this FSMO rules, we'll move on to the practical session. I will be sharing my screen and we'll do a practical configuration of Active Directory. Okay.
Okay, Razi.
रवि भाई आज जो डिस्कस करें ये सब प्रैक्टिकल करते वक्त में भी थोड़ा
I
एक्सप्लेनेशन हो
will
गया तो
relate. Definitely,
या
I will relate them when we are doing the practical. I will relate and I'll show you what exactly I was talking about. See, this training which being delivered over here, my training which I'm delivering, it is MCSE or Azure. It's completely job oriented training. Okay, so it's not a bookish training. It's not like I'm reading some material. It's not like we are studying a subject. It's not like a subject. We are we are looking at this technology uh, to, I mean, in a way how it exactly functions. Okay, तो जॉब पे जो जो ज़रूरत है, आपको रियल टाइम एनवायरनमेंट में ये चीज़ कहाँ पे क्या यूज़ होती, उस हिसाब से ये ट्रेनिंग है, ठीक है? So it's a job oriented training. It's not like a subject we are learning. No, it's not a bookish thing. It's a job oriented training. So whenever I'm delivering any topic, any session, so it will be much relatable to the real time environment. Real time में क्या issues you can, what type of issues uh, you can notice in real time when you're working on this technology. When you get a job and when you work on this technology, what type of issues you will encounter, how you will troubleshoot them, and what are the focus areas in this topic. So in that way I will tell you ये topic पे I'm working, right, I'm working from from these many years on this particular technology, so I know what issues you will encounter when you're working on this technology. So it will be more job oriented, and the examples will also be very similar to the job oriented training. Okay, so be assured on that thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Yeah, let's connect back tomorrow, same time.
Okay, Razi.
Thank
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.